guys okay? You got everything you need?
We're good.
Okay. Okay, that'll be great, because I want to go ahead and start testing. Yes. And I have my computer. Okay, perfect. So do I need to do that or do you get that? Yeah, I got the rest. All right, thank you. Okay, now, I want you to know that we got to put that banner up and we got to take it to the front of us. We got to take it.
Found a old 4-inch Santa.
I'm just saying, one side or the other.
Yeah, let's put a little bit of, just like this. And spread this short, so the 4-man step with the guys. Right there, like that.
And you know we're always in the front row.
Yes.
It's the short guys in the front row.
So I think this extra right here. I'm gonna put it right here. Everybody just come forward, turn a little bit. There we go. And that way, we just.
Rob, you feeling a little different?
Yeah, a little off.
We're just gonna trade dance with them and just go for
All right, I would love to be able to get those pictures in this shot. So if 4 of you can come right behind here, you 4 come forward, come. So they can stand right behind, come. All right, and you're gonna stand right in there, here. And so, sure. There you go. All right, I'm gonna try to very good. Get ready. 1, 2, and excellent. 1, 2, 3, and let me back up just a little bit more so I can get more content. And there we go. Last time. Gonna get a little less content right here. And very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll get each of you behind your tables as time goes with people in front of you and all that. If you need anything at all, let me know.
Winning lottery ticket.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. It's right across the street.
Okay, because that's what I was going to. That was the only table I was like,
No, I don't need it. So you go and provide lots of information, and myself and my colleague have any we're experts in this program. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Okay. Sure, it's not so nice. That's it.
Did you come from that certified? MDOT certified? Okay.
Hello, how you doing? Same name or what?
So you're off your probation. We need to change that.
So we're going to
I'm gonna take off our meeting badges.
and then we're gonna put a little more space. Right. I'm going to do at least 3 shots, probably 4 or 5. All right, ready. 1, 2, back up just a little bit. Right there. Turn just a little bit more. The other side. Yes, right there. 1, 2, 3, and. Tighter, not too hard. And smile. You act. Looking clean going on there. Let's see. Hold on, let me do this one more. There it is. We're done. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks, Pat. Good morning, sir, how are you?
Could everyone please take a seat? About ready to start? Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me out there? Very good. Great day in Baltimore. My name is Wayne Frazier, and I am president of the Maryland Washington Minority Companies Association. And we are 1 week away from change in Baltimore. We have an election coming up. And this time, next week, we'll know who the new mayor of Baltimore is. It's exciting and intriguing, and I'm happy that it's taking place the Democratic way. We're here this morning because your host, Hamel Builders, has asked to be very inclusive in this project, or in these 4 projects, and they asked us, MWMCA, to assist them in reaching out to the women and minority business community in and around Baltimore and perhaps Washington, D.C. As you will hear, some D.C. certified contractors should be able to take advantage of opportunities here as well. And I believe that's the way it should be. I'd like to thank Dan Beagle Sr., who is the estimator for this project, because he has been working extremely hard in putting this together. I'd like to thank Courtney Phillips from the Baltimore City Minority Women's Business Opportunity Office for being here this morning. He will speak a little later. Mr. Charles Wilson and Vanessa Kennedy from the Department of Small and Local Business Development in Washington, D.C. They're here this morning. We have Mr. Reggie Jarvis from Centennial Surety, who's here this morning. We have we have PNC Bank officials here as well. If they're here, Ramsey and his crew, please acknowledge yourself. We have Mr. Chris Smith of the Barber Group, who's here. Chris, would you raise your hand? One of the surety bonding companies here that can assist you with your bonding requirements. And I urge, if you haven't looked at your surety bonding protection coverage, if you will, if you haven't looked at it with another company, or for that matter, if you have great financing sources right now, but if you haven't had another institution to take a look at it, you don't know what you have. You might have the best, but you may find out there's something better for you. I'd like to bring up Mr. Courtney Phillips, who can explain what the Baltimore City certification process is all about. Mr. Phillips.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, I appreciate y'all coming out. And, my name is Courtney Phillips. I'm Chief of the Minority Women's Business Opportunity Officer for the City of Baltimore. I'm responsible for administering the city's MWMCA program. As I guess many of you know, the city has a 27% MDE goal and a 10% women-owned business goal. That's on all city contracts. Although it's set on a contract-by-contract basis, the goal is 27 and 10. And I want to thank Hamel Builders, because this program cannot be successful unless prime contractors and subcontractors work together to achieve the goals of the program. So it takes both parties to make this program successful, not just MDEs and WEs. It requires the support of our prime contractors. And I will say this, Baltimore has a robust program. I've been around the country, worked in a number of different jurisdictions. Baltimore historically has had one of the most robust MBE and WBE programs in the country. And part of it is because the prime contractors have been supportive of the program. So again, I want to thank Hamel Builders for being supportive of the program and for this morning. Just very briefly, my office is responsible for setting goals on city contracts, as well as private development. When it comes to private development, once again, it's 27-10% goal on the non-discretionary portion of the budget for each phase of a particular project. We're also responsible for compliance and then the certifications. And I would encourage, the MDW program is a subcontracting program. It's not a prime contracting subsidized program. It's a subcontracting goal program. So I would encourage any minority and woman-owned business to get certified with the city. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get work, but certainly any vehicle you can have to get additional opportunities in the marketplace is always going to be beneficial. So I encourage you, if you're not certified, please go online, download our application, fill it out. The biggest issue is making sure that you have the required documents, standard business documents. If you have the documents in order and you have you fill out your application, notarized, we can turn around in 30 days. And you're not going to find another jurisdiction in the country that can do that. I can tell you MDOT's probably got a backlog of several hundred. Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority has a backlog of more than several hundred. We have done a very intense job over the last 6 months to eliminate our backlog. So we're processing applications in real time. So if you have your application and you have all the required documents in order, we will turn your application around in less than 30 days and you can get certified with Baltimore City. For Baltimore City contracts, we do not accept certifications from other jurisdictions. So if you're MDOT certified, that is not certification that will be acceptable on Baltimore City contracts. So for prime contractors out there, you need to make sure that your MDEs and WBEs are certified with Baltimore City. We've got a website, you can go to the directory and verify that your subs are certified. So with that being said, I appreciate you all coming out this morning. My door is always open, both literally and figuratively. I never shut my door. If you have any questions or you need assistance or information from my office, believe me, we will respond, and we will respond quickly. My door is always open. Feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you again.
And for those of you who are not certified in Baltimore City, and you are outside of the catchment area of Baltimore City, there are ways that you can come into the area at an economical rate because of the new millennial, and you can get certified here in the city. I guarantee you it's going to be to your advantage because we have the Harbor Point project as well as the other projects coming up at Port Covington a few years from now. And if you aren't city certified, you won't be able to take advantage of any of those opportunities. I repeat, Howard County's there in Baltimore's catchment area, but you won't be able to take advantage. Next, I'd like to bring up Mr. Oscar Maceo, who is the Director of Pre-Construction Services for Hamel Builders, and he will go over the projects. Oscar.
Thank you. I'll do buenos dias. I can translate everything if you guys want it, but I don't think we have that much time. So good morning. Next slide, please. I wanted to just kind of give you a quick 30-second, 20,000-foot away version of Hamel, who we are. We're a 3-decade-old company. We're a multi-family renovator and builder. We're focused in multi-family housing. That's been our bread and butter for 30 years now. It's 1988, so it's 28 years, but we'll get into the 30. I know many of you have been working in the same space as we have, and just for some reason we haven't connected, so we wanted to bridge the gap today. We really wanted to give you a quick preview, or headquarters up down in Elkridge, just 10 minutes away, south from the Beltway. To Wayne's point, you know, I just came from DC, so 95 is really open, so we can go up and down, Washington, Baltimore. There's nothing precluding you guys from coming and participating in some of our DC work, and vice versa. So, anyway, but basically we're really focused in the Baltimore, Washington, and Northern Virginia corridor. That's really where our work takes place. We do about 20 to 25 jobs a year, so that's a healthy number of projects. And next slide, please. So we negotiate about 90% of our work. What that means is we're always looking for best value. We're really not beating something to a fault. We really want to build a relationship, have companies that come in and help us really build the project for the client and deliver a complete product to the client, something we can all be proud of. We have done 31,000 units, 350 projects, you know, all that very impressive. I want to highlight, you know, or a lot of the work is funded in part or fully by programs under the HUD, the low-income housing tax credit program, some of you are probably familiar with, and other city and state funding tools that bring Davis-Bacon and other participation requirements. The way we tackle participation requirements in the company is we look at the project and then we go outward. We like to bring local companies to participate, the closest one. If you're across the street, great. If you're a mile away, great. So we're trying to really bring it in. And this funding tools bring different requirements, city certification, MDOT, you could have some other things, Section 3, they're different participation. What we like to do is really cast a wide net, do events like this, really bridge the gap, get in touch with you guys, open our office so you guys can come in, learn about us, learn how we work. We're going to give you a few more pieces of information about us today. but really open doors so that you guys can be comfortable working with us and engage. We're talking about a lot of projects here. I can give you a quick example of what we've been doing in the district. We've been a little bit busy in Washington, busier in Washington than we have in Baltimore, but that's changing pretty quickly. And I can tell you, within the last 5 years, we wrote $180 million worth of contracts to local companies. That's an impressive figure. And better yet, the 4 projects that you see here today, we're looking at having no less than $20 million worth of work to local participation. If it can be 40, great. If it can be 60, that'll be all of the contracts. And that's achievable. The capacity is here. You guys are here. You have the capacity. You can do this project. Talk to us. The project might seem too large. Talk to us. The project executives and the project manager are here to kind of walk you through the schedule, because it might be a daunting 350-unit project, but in reality, we're only tackling 20 units at a time. You can manage that. Yeah. Or maybe you can do all 350. Great. Then let's look at the other opportunity. So again, today we're giving you a quick preview of 4 projects. And again, we have a pretty strong pipeline in 2016, 2017, and beyond. So really hope that we can build a relationship. You guys can stop by our office, know all these guys by first name or the nickname, and really, build something good together. So we have a couple slides here just to show you that we've been around Baltimore for some time. Don't ask me to tell you exactly who buildings are, because I'm from DC, so this is like, I don't know. But this guy's built this, each one of his projects. Mirror Court on the top, that is Algonquin on the upper right, Springer Square. Next slide, please. Union Mill, a really nice renovation, historic renovation with it. Down there we have the Lenore on the right, Madison, a new construction project we did, and we've got a couple more coming down the pipe. We're not showing them right now, but those are part of the 2017 pipeline. So again, a lot of good work. I know you guys are good subcontractors, good companies. Let's just build something together, right? Thank you.
And let me get an amen. That was 189 million?
180.
180 million.
Yes, sir.
And that's significant for a mid-size general contractor. That is a significant amount of money to be paid to women and minority businesses, and I want to applaud. Now I'd like to bring up Mr. Mike Muller to provide the expectations to you guys. Mike?
So it's very simple for us. Oscar described how long we've been in business, and you'll see there that we have a tagline of building relationships, and it is not just verbiage. It's exactly what we do. So the really important thing that you need to understand is that while we have goals and we have requirements for minority participation and women participation, we want good contractors first and foremost. And if you are a minority, then that's a bonus to us. But what we want is we want a relationship with you that is a positive relationship that we will build on, and we've got it for years to come. We've been in business for, like you said, 28 years. I've been with Hamel for 18 years. Every one of these guys down the side here, Mike's been 18 years, Ken's been 18 years, Tim's been 20 years, John's been 18 years. All of us, this is how we have forged a very good relationship with all the subcontractors, and that's why we're successful. So our expectations are performance. We want value, and once you get there, not only is your performance, we're depending upon it, but every other subcontractor you're working with depends upon your performance. So we think we do a pretty good job of outlining what your responsibilities are with the contracts. We just started with a software, and I'm going to try to keep this really brief, but we just started with a software called Procore, and it's a very good tool that we use now for every project, and it's great for communication, because the one thing that when things don't start to go well, The common denominator ordinarily is communication. Somehow things have to be communicated very well and effectively to everyone, so we all get the same message. So this is one of the reasons we have the software. All the drawings go out, RFIs, submittals, everything gets listed to you, and you'll see, and there's some accountability of when you get it, when and each should have it, so it's good accountability for everyone. And so we also have compliance requirements that Oscar spoke about earlier with respect to Davis-Bacon wages. And just because all of our work is somehow funded with federal or state local money, then there is the requirement for Davis-Bacon. If any of you aren't as proficient in that as you want to be, we have some people in our office. Don't be deterred that if you have a Davis-Bacon requirement and you're not familiar with it, so, oh, I better not bid that job, don't do that. It's very simple, and we'll help you. So if there's something there that you're not familiar with, we'll take care of it. Safety is another huge item for us. We have a safety officer for our company that goes around to every job site every week. And they are looking for whatever OSHA or MOSHA would see, and he will cite it. And he knows it like he knows his children. He knows everything about it. And so, again, this is not trying to find what you're doing wrong and penalize you. This is trying to find what you're doing wrong, and this is how we can help you grow. This is how we can make you a better company.
I agree.
You have to work safely. Everybody that goes to work for your company that goes in the morning has to come home tonight to somebody. So, and we're it's not another tagline, it's extremely important to us. So, but I wanted to give just 1 minute for a gentleman, Kenny Cowser with Cowser Supply, because it's enough to hear from us to say, hey, look, we really want to work from you. Hear from somebody who has worked for us and who has a relationship with Hamel. And just for a minute, he can talk about it. He wasn't on the script, we just went off.
This is unscripted, but I'm a supplier. I'm a small supplier. We do about $4 million a year, and between 4 and 6. And I can tell you this, it's really true. Again, I just walked in the door and they see me, and they are a very good company to work for. And I'm not just saying this because they put me up here. They're very user-friendly. They're very, very nice. Paperwork issue, as long as your paperwork is straight and you do what you're supposed to do and you supply, or for me, supply and be on time, like every other general contractor, everything goes really well. If you have any questions, especially with this situation here, because I have a young lady that does this, I wouldn't know how to get in there if I tried. But they will help. They've helped her to get in and do the bids. So they're really telling the truth here. They pay their bills, which is a big deal for everybody here. And if you need something, something that might go a little bit above, it don't hurt to ask. So you're gonna get us a no or a yes. But most of the time, you're gonna get a yes. And again, you just got to step up and do what you're supposed to do. Like you can't fail. You can't fail. Put it that way. I mean, this is not a gift, but it is an opportunity. I'm MBE Baltimore City, which, like he said, is very easy to get Baltimore City. I've been in business now 16 years, and I'm PG County and MDOT. So get the certification if you don't have it. It is a big deal. But the one last thing I want to say is don't let this be an invisible welfare chain around your ankle. And what I mean by that is just because you're MBE, especially with this company, don't think that's the only job that you can do if you do what you do. Okay, a lot of MBEs get this welfare chain around their leg thinking all I can do is this MBE job. That's negative. I'm supplying jobs for them. They ain't got nothing to do with MBE. You understand? Because I'm just a good supplier, period. It's a blow my own horn, but it is what it is, okay? So don't get yourself locked in to being an MBE, saying all I can do is MBE work. It is a lie, and these people will help you. Thank you.
That was powerful. Thank you, Mr. Calvin. Thank you, Mike. Next, we'd like to get into review of the projects. And I've been asked, instead of bringing the project managers up, that you can speak directly from your booth there when I call your name. McCullough Holmes, come on down. No, you stay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Lima. I will be in charge ultimately to our corporate office for McCullough Homes. I'm excited to say that McCullough Homes is about to come to fruition. It looks like the job is going to start sometime July, August of this year, which is very exciting to me. As you can see on the screen, I don't know if you're all aware of the Dolphin Druid Hill location of it. It's a 350-unit project, 2 buildings, 15-story and 16 stories high. We're going to be renovating those apartments. Total cost of the job is about $100,000 per unit, so it's a good-sized job. It's going to take 21 months to do. That's our construction schedule. The work entails just about every trade there is. There's a major masonry scope on the outside, major overhaul of all the mechanicals on the inside, with kitchens, with cabinets, with doors. You name it, it's everything. The project is just going to be fabulous when it's done for the people. We look forward to entertaining you folks, pricing the job. It'll be great. I would just say hold the questions off to the end of this when you guys come and visit us at our table. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is John Hamel, and I do what Mike does, project executive, except I'm for the St. James Terrace Apartments. Everything Mike said about that one is the exact same thing here. It's 151 units, and it is a 20-month schedule. There's extensive exterior masonry work on this, new kitchens, new baths, new flooring. They're getting new elevators, minor exterior work. Really, this is mostly interior. Because of the nature of this building, it's getting new plumbing, new domestic water, and new two-pipe system. Because of the nature of that, it's going to be in tiers going up. So there'll be back-to-back tiers. We'll be doing 20 units at a time, working our way around the perimeter of the building. It's an 11-story building. There will be people in the building, but there will not be people in the units. They will be relocating people out of the units for the period of the construction. It's in West Baltimore. It's located on North Arlington Avenue. We're hopeful that the HUD financing will come through by August, September at the latest. Once again, it'll be a 20-month schedule. It is coming through. We're very excited about this project, and we look forward to working with you. If you can hold your questions at the very end and come on up and visit us. Tom Doolin, who is seated at my left, is the project manager. He will be the project manager on this project. He has been working in Baltimore forever. He was with Knox and then with us Struber Brothers before, and he's been with us for about 6 or 7 years now. So he's very familiar with the Baltimore market. And again, this is going to be a good project, and we look forward to working with many of the folks in here. Thank you.
Okay, real quick, before you start that, just so you know, Jason Thompson is the project manager for McCullough Homes.
Hello.
So if each of the PMs for the projects are here. Yep.
Hi, I'm Rob Peck. I'm going to be the project manager for Franklin Flats. I know I've spoken to a lot of you about this job already. It's different than the other two that were just mentioned. There's a picture of it on the screen. It's actually on the corner of St. Paul and Franklin, a prominent intersection if you're coming from Johns Hopkins towards downtown. You come up that hill, it's right there, the first building you see. There was an old group of like mansion row homes that go down that street that became offices and other places, and now we're going to convert that 5-story initial structure and add on, demo the old added on structure in the back to make a 7-story new building that's a part of then the front building, and it's going to be 41 apartment units. And we're basically gutting the whole thing of the existing and then matching with the new construction next to it. And the job's worth around $10 million. It's going to take approximately 14 months. And we're actually looking to break ground within the next 2 weeks. I'm actually heading to a meeting in a half hour to meet with the demo contractor and the city officials so we can get started on that work. So anyone here obviously interested in working on it with us, we would love to have you on our team and be a part of the signature job for the city. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Dan Beagle. I'm actually a senior estimator, not a project manager. I'm actually talking about Bolton North. This is going to be under John and Tom's wing. This is as you can see from the picture, a high-rise. It's going to be more of a matrix job. And what I mean by that, it's going to be selective replacement. So we're going to go ahead and do the barrier-free units, but then as vacant, but then we're basically going to be doing work in occupied units. We're going to be doing the outside skin of the building as far as all the stucco and the windows. And then moving into the units, we're going to do matrix kitchen replacement, some bathroom replacement, and the biggest thing as far as any drywallers that are here, we will be doing sprinkler with new bulkheads in all the units. If you have any questions about this one, go ahead and come up to me. I can tell you about it. As far as the projects themselves, like I said, I'm the estimator, so I'm your main contact in pre-construction. So what I'm going to do after this presentation is I will be sending every one of you an invitation from our bid program called I Square Foot. So please take a look in your emails, because if some of your security is set up a certain way, it may go into your spam. So please look for that in the next 24 hours. What it will have is all this information in kind of like a Dropbox type of program. Now, you've already received the drawings in the invitations to come to this meeting, but anyone that hasn't accessed that information, like I said, it's going to all be set up through I Square Foot. So you'll be able to go in there, take that information. Again, you'll see the bid dates. The bid dates were on the handout that you have as well. But any questions that you have, please feel free to email me or come over to the table and talk to me about it as well. Thank you very much for coming out. Appreciate it.
Now we have a moment for questions that we can address. Anyone have questions?
Again, this is about no less than $20 million worth of work between these 4 projects alone. So, great opportunity, guys. Really help us get there, dig into the drawings, ask questions, engage with these folks. So, but anyway, if there are any other questions? Wow.
Guys, to put down on that, it's not about $20 million worth of work. It's about us building a relationship with local businesses in Baltimore City, because we're going to be around for a long time. We're going to be doing a lot of business in Baltimore. We want to help develop Baltimore and build businesses and build relationships. We want good contractors. And as Kevin said, it's beneficial that you're minority businesses, that you're certified in Baltimore City, but at the end of the day, we want to work with good, reliable contractors. We will pay, we will do our job, and we expect people that we work with to do their job. So this is a great thing and a great start, but it's a start to a relationship for long-term revenue, long-term work, long-term relationships. So that's our intention of this outreach, is to really build relationships with all of you and get face-to-face and get that intimate relationship so we can work together long-term.
I have 2 questions. You mentioned I Square Foot, that's the software?
That's correct.
Is it mandatory that the trades?
They don't have to participate. You don't have to sign up for anything, and you don't have to subscribe to anything. All it does is I Square helps estimating distribute information.
Okay.
And then the other software that we use while projects are in production is Procore. Again, you don't need to subscribe to it, but what will happen is that when we send it out, you'll be able to go in, log on, you'll see where everything is, you'll know what's been reviewed, what hasn't been reviewed. If there's a revised drawing, you'll know, because you'll get an email that says this drawing has just been updated. You click that link and the drawings are there. So, and then it will tell me that you clicked that link and that you saw the drawings.
So then that way it's no excuse for not
accountability.
Missing anything. Accountability.
Got it.
So if someone calls me and said they didn't look at the drawings, I can pull it up on the computer and say, I saw you looked at it the other day.
Sorry, a little big
They
brother.
see you looking at it.
A little big brother there.
And the other question, will you require any portion of the trades to be bonded for work?
It's really a case-by-case issue for us. We bond 100% of our projects from us, 100% payment performance bond. So that is your protection, and that is the owner's of the building's protection. And we're going to pay you, because then you're just going to call my bonding company. But what we don't do is, because we spend money for a bond, and we have a great bonding rate because we perform well, and the owners of our company are very well positioned financially. So, but because we get a bonding rate of 75 basis points, which is really pretty exceptional in the market, then for you to get a bond, it's going to likely be a higher rate, and it just doesn't seem that, for us right now, we haven't adopted that redundancy to say, we need a bond, therefore you have a bond. We think we're okay without it, but it's a case, our contract has it such that if we ask for it, you'll provide it. You'll know that before you go to contract, so it's a possibility that we could, but we haven't yet. So it's really be a case by case. So again, don't let that be a deterrent to bidding any of these projects.
And just one final question.
Yes, sir.
In reference to payment, is it the trades get paid when you get paid?
Our contract is a paid-when-paid contract. And these guys, the project managers, the project executives, their job is to get us paid. That's one of their responsibilities. Perfect our invoice, get it into accounting, get it into the owner, and then chase it until it becomes a reality in payment. So that's their job, and that's the expectation of Hamel, is for them to get us paid. We meet in our office, we meet once a month, or the first Monday of every month, and I bring in our comptroller or our CFO, one of the two, and they put out our aging registry. And if there's something there that's creeping beyond 30 into 60 days, the president of our company is demanding of all of us to say, find out why we're not paid, and find out how you can get us paid. So there's only so much control we have, but it's not without a valiant effort to get us paid. So.
Very good. Now you know they chase money like
Oh, yeah.
you chase money.
Yes, sir.
Back.
Yeah, my question is being proactive rather than reactive with security for these projects in Baltimore City. The estimator, do you have budgets already lined up for security?
As far as, are you talking personal security on site, or as far as access control and
Personal security from MWMCA security.
address how you?
We don't start a project with on-site, I shouldn't say we don't, well, we don't start them. A few projects we've had the need that we've had to have on-site guards for either protection of personnel or for protection of property. So we've had that. We don't go into it thinking that's what we're going to have, and it's not that we're just naive or we're oblivious to our surroundings. We're not. We're very aware. And you know, our insurance companies also want to see that we have given some thought to how we protect the property from either theft, vandalism, and then obviously personal protection. But first we start with, we'll do cameras. We'll do all of the automated things. We'll do a perimeter fencing on every project. We'll do lighting. And then the other thing about some of these projects is these are being lived in. So we're there as a course of our industry, but we're going into people's homes. And this isn't just someone that is renting from HABC, this is their home. So if we're doing two projects right now, Lakeview Towers and Bell Park. These have been in the news for all the wrong reasons for a lot of years. And so we're there now, and we embrace everyone that's there. And I tell you what, it's been reciprocated. We've been very fortunate. And these have been some tough crime areas. We haven't had an issue, nothing. And it's because we communicate with them. Mike Nemo went down there. We just happened to start this job, to toot our horn for just a minute, happened to start this job just before Thanksgiving. We had to get in there and get started. So the first thing he did was get a truck of 500 turkeys. Yeah, 500 turkeys, and said, we're here, you're going to know we're here, because we're going to be a little noisy, a little messy, but let's just start off on the right foot. So that's what he did. We went and got a big van, went down there and just said, you know, happy Thanksgiving.
You delivered too.
Yeah, well, but I'm fine early.
I have a question about safety. It's obviously very important to all of us. Sometimes it's a small business. It's really hard to relay that message to the guys out in the field. And you guys have been great to work with on a lot of different fronts. And I'm not sure, do you guys have safety compliance guys that can kind of help us?
Bingo. Yes, we do.
Teach
me what we do.
To relay the message to the guys.
So what we do is we want every subcontractor that's on this job to have a 30-hour, all of our guys are 30-hour training for OSHA. So the guy that runs our safety department is qualified by OSHA to perform and give you the 30-hour training. So for subcontractors, he will set it up. It's a fee, and it's like nothing, but all it does is it just covers his hours. But it's a fee, and he'll train anyone in your company to get to 30 hours, and it's certified by OSHA. So the other thing that we think it works out for safety is that if all of our superintendents are 30-hour trained, they recognize things. And there's just another thing we do is that quarterly, just instituted at the beginning of this year, that quarterly we put a point valuation on every project. So if a guy is working well and they see things, that doesn't mean you don't have any infractions. It just means that we see it, we arrest it, and we cure it. And we educate people and say, you can't be out on this edge without any fall protection. So when we have those points, at the end of the quarter, the project that is going on that has the greatest number of points, that whole team, which is 4 to 6 to 8 people, they either go on a fishing trip, they go on a Ravens game or a Baltimore Orioles game or a Nats game, whatever it is. So we have this whole list of things that so they're incentivized to constantly be in a safe environment. So, and again, it's not that we're going to dictate that this is what you have to do. We want to educate your guys that this is why and this is how you can do it. And you can still, you don't have to burn up all your money to be safe. There's a way to do it and do it right.
Very good. Safety is the key, no matter who you work for. And I applaud you for what you say. Any other questions? One more, Mr. Kane.
Yeah, I heard that one job starts in 2 weeks, and you're meeting with the demo contractor, so I assume the demo's already led. What other opportunities are available in that project, if any, and are the other jobs, have they also been awarded to subcontractors? St. James has not been awarded at all. So St. James, we would like to get the bids by May 16th. So a little bit of a rush on the bids, but I'm sorry, did I go on?
No contracts have been awarded yet on all these. Franklin Flats is the fastest tracked project out of all of them. That's why you'll see the bid date that was circulated before. The bid date is, I believe, the 5th on that one, because it's coming out of the ground quick. So as far as that one, give me your information as soon as possible, and then you'll see the other ones are tiered back, and then they're going later in a month to 3 months, I would say.
But for St. James, probably McCullough, everything's still with estimating, so nothing's been bought out. So we're looking at later in this.
And the demo contractor is the only guy that I feel like we are somewhat settled on. All the rest are completely open. Okay. This is a renovation in part and new construction, about half and half. Yep.
Dan, would you come on up a second? Any other questions? Remember, Friday, May 13th. That's the date that we'll have our 13th, coincidentally, 13th annual spring breakfast at Martin's West. And this is going to be the best ever yet. But Dan, I would ask you to come up because we'd like to present this plaque to Hamel Builders and for all of your hard work. It's from the Maryland Washington Minority Companies Association with Hamel Builders and Hamel Commercial Inc. for hosting this event to share information regarding upcoming projects and business opportunities through your firm and how small, minority, and women-owned companies can do business with you. Your contributions and outreach to small and minority women-owned firms is greatly appreciated. This 21st day of April 2016, signed by me. That's my smile. Thank you, everybody. Find out how to get engaged. Thank you for coming.